At Sierra, discover great deals on top brand workout gear, like high-quality walking shoes, which might lead to another discovery.
40,000 steps, baby. Who's on top now, Karen?
You've taken the office step challenge a step too far. Don't worry, though. Sierra also has yoga gear. It might be a good place to find your zen. Discover top brands at unexpectedly low prices. Sierra, let's get moving.
If your roof starts to leak or your floor's really squeaky, you live in a money pit. Money pit.
If your basement needs a pump or your place looks like a dump, you live in a money pit. Money pit. Pick up the telephone.
Fix up your home sweet home by calling 888-MONEY-PIT.
The Money Pit is presented by Quickcrete Fast Setting Concrete. Look for it in the red bag. Now here's Leslie Segretti.
Coast to coast and floorboards to shingles, this is the Money Pit. I'm Leslie Segretti, and with me, as always, is Jim Kenzie, the best producer in the home improvement biz. Welcome, Jim.
At least the best one online with you at the moment.
The best one I know. What?
You rock. I'm blushing again. I'm blushing.
That's my job. I just like it when you have that pinkish hue on your cheeks. It matches a paint color I'm thinking about, but, you know.
Lovely fuchsia.
Yeah. Well, what's going on, everybody? It's like mid-September. I feel like everything is happening. School is happening. Back to school nights, PTA meetings, supplies, sports. Oh, my. There's so much going on, like outside of everything, that it's super easy to get sidetracked with the stuff that's going on to your home. But don't worry, that's why we're here to help you keep things working and organized. And we have a great show this hour, so we're just going to get right to it. Well, just because it's fall, well, technically it's fall. Right now, we've just changed. It doesn't mean that your outdoor fun is just kind of gotta stop. Coming up, we're going to talk about patio heaters. They're a cozy upgrade that will keep you entertaining and dining and relaxing outside well into the colder temps. We'll talk about fuel types, how to choose the right heater for your space and your lifestyle. I mean, whether you're roasting marshmallows or you're just warming up your morning coffee routine, we have got you covered. And with fall in full swing and Halloween just around the corner, you might be hearing some spooky sounds around your house. Bangs, pops, scratches, even an occasional whistle, which I will say is the creepiest home sound. Don't worry, though. Your home is probably not haunted. So we're going to decode the top mystery noises of the season and tell you what they really mean and how you can fix them before they give you the creeps. And your water heater. Maybe it's slightly draining your wallet, literally. We're going to share some smart ways to cut those energy costs, reduce that water waste, and keep your hot water flowing efficiently. Plus, we'll tell you how you can score up to $600 in tax credits just for making one smart upgrade. This is a hot topic you do not want to miss, so stay tuned. But before we get to all of that, we want to hear from you. What are you guys all working on? Or maybe you're about to start tackling off of your to-do list. Whatever you have planned or whatever surprises pop up, we are here to lend a hand. So give us a call at 888-MONEY-PIT. Jim, who's up first?
Marcus in Louisiana, what's going on at your Money Pit today?
I have an insulation deficit in my attic. I'm not really able to get up there and put any more insulation in.
All right, an insulation deficit. Tell us more.
I've had this salesman come by and introduce me to these thermal barriers. It's like a big foil that rolls out. I think it's kind of got little, it's a multi-layered.
Yep, they're multi-layered.
It helps reduce the temperature in the attic by several degrees by reflecting the heat back up. I've seen them displayed at the home show before with a little box with the light bulb in the top and has, like, one side has the thermal barrier, the other side doesn't have it, and you can see a difference. And I just wondered if y'all thought they really worked in reality.
Well, yeah, those do work. I mean, I'm not sure what their claims are, but I've seen some outrageous claims in terms of how much they're going to lower your utility bills. But remember, the heat in your attic, it affects that attic space and your roof, actually, in a number of different ways. It can sort of thermal transfer to the building materials. It gets in through convection of the air, and it also gets in through radiant, that sort of UV radiation passing through the shingles. And that gets that lumber hot, and then it pushes down and hits the thermal barrier, but bounces right back up. So it will reduce some of that heat that you're feeling in the conditioned spaces below, but that's not your one-stop shop solution. Now, the other thing that you need to know about thermal barriers is that there's got to be, they have to be laid down perpendicular to the roof. So, and they have to be absolutely square in their installation for it to absolutely work. And if they get dirty or dusty, it's not going to work. So it's got to be installed in a way that's not going to be a dust trap or a dirt trap. And if you end up with that cloud, there's nothing to reflect back. So I think in warmer conditions, it can be a good option. But one of the things that you might want to consider is to go to energy.gov, and they truly are an expert independently, and they have a lot of information on radiant barriers on that site. And radiant, not thermal barriers. It's called a radiant barrier.
I'll go to that website and check it out.
Yeah, if you go on there, you can read all about the issues that are impacting them, like the installation, the cleanliness of the barrier in an ongoing situation, the terms of effectiveness, and I think probably more helpful to help you kind of make an informed decision, because I don't think it's a bad idea. I just don't want you to expect more than it's going to actually deliver. All right, good luck with that project. Definitely check out their website. Definitely spend some time learning on there. And thank you so much for reaching out.
All right, let's go out to the great state of Wisconsin, Leslie, where we've got Ellie, probably a Packers fan. She's celebrating a new home. Congratulations on that, Ellie. And she's looking to put up some wall shelving, do some decorating, that kind of thing. Give us the details, Ellie.
I have a new home that is actually brand new to flip everything inside. I would like to put up wall shelving. I desperately need wall shelving in the bathrooms, I think, because I don't know where else products would go, and I have no idea where to first to begin.
Well, all right, Ellie, congrats.
Yeah.
And I love that you want to try to do some things yourself and you want to buy some tools and start working on some projects. So hooray for that. Now, the bathroom's a good place to start because it's on the smaller side. And as far as things that you're going to want to put on those shelves, I guess we're talking about like small decorative stuff, maybe not too heavy. If that's the case and you can't have access to a stud, maybe it's just not going to fall into wherever that bracket or those screws go in to hold that shelf up. I wouldn't be too concerned with the right anchor because you're not going to be putting anything too heavy. Now, with the bathroom, I mean, for anchors, I always love those metal self-tapping anchors. They kind of look like metal cones with threading on them. They go in fantastically. I generally use the method, and I know this is going to be laughed at, but I have a stud finder. I don't generally use it. I drive a screw into the spot of where I want to put my support. If I hit a stud, I go, great. If I don't hit a stud, I go, anchor. And I already have it lined up with a level and I know where all of the supports are supposed to go. So I'm ready to do it. It's just if I've hit a stud, hurrah, and I know how to work with it. If I didn't, hurrah, I have the correct anchor. And those anchors are going to really be built for the weight that you're going to accommodate. So think about how much does the shelf weigh? What am I putting on it? And get an anchor that's properly rated for that because you don't want it to pull out of the drywall and have a big mess. As far as the shelving, you know, depending on what you're going to put on there, definitely look for something stylish for the bathroom space. It could be shallow if you're just putting a couple of decorative things on. If you want to put some artwork, you can do a leaner ledge that will kind of just allow the photos or paintings or whatever you're putting up to kind of lean there. But that's it. And get yourself a nice drill driver, like a screw gun, whatever you want to call it. And those work great to help you put in the anchors, to help you drive in the screws. And this is a good place to start with the decorating. So good luck with that. And congrats on the new home, Ellie.
Raise the rudders! Raise the sails! Raise the sails!
Captain, an unidentified ship is approaching. Over.
Roger. Wait, is that an enterprise sales solution?
Reach sales professionals, not professional sailors. With LinkedIn ads, you can target the right people by industry, job title, and more. Start converting your B2B audience today. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started today at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, you're tired of living in a money pit? Well, we're here to help. And if you want us to help out, it would be awesome if you could leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. Just go to moneypit.com/review. It's only going to take a minute and it means the world to us. Well, this was the first summer that we had a veggie garden at home, and while not as successful as we had hoped, although like a huge home run for Brown Thumb Segretti over here, we did have a small harvest. We had some squash, we had some peppers, we had a lot of tomatoes, and next year I know will be even better. So to help us and to help you get ready for success, now is the time to give your veggie garden a little love before that first frost hits. You want to start by harvesting whatever is still growing strong out there. So if you've got some tomatoes left on the vine or peppers and herbs, then pull out any spent plants and give the soil a good rake to remove debris and roots. Then you want to enrich that bed with compost or aged manure to help replenish nutrients, and your spring garden, when it comes time, will thank you. If you're up for a fall crop, now's the perfect time to plant cool weather veggies. That would be like spinach, lettuce, radishes. And if not, consider planting a cover crop like clover or rye just to protect and feed the soil all winter long. It's a little effort that you're doing now that'll give you a healthier and easier start come springtime. All right, Jim, let's get back to the phones.
All right, Leslie, we've got Matt in the great state of Ohio, and he's got a problem that just keeps coming back over and over and over again. Let's see how we can help out. What's going on, Matt?
We had our house built about 6 years ago. The stand-up shower in the master bath is molding around the bottom. I have cleaned the mold off. I've scraped it all off. I've re-caulked it, and the mold keeps coming back. I had a guy come out. He told me to get this kind of caulk, paid him to, and helped him to clean all the caulk off, re-caulked it, and now it's back again. Not sure what to do about it. Also have a swelling wall on the outside wall across from that stand-up shower, and the caulking keeps cracking as the wall separates from the bathtub and the countertop. The vanity is connected to the outside wall.
Yeah, oh my gosh, Matt, this seems like a big problem, and it's definitely something that's happening over and over again with this mold in this bathroom. I mean, if not, the entire solution here is that maybe it's not vented properly in the first place. So when you're showering, bathing, you're creating a lot of humidity, a lot of moist air. If you are not venting that bathroom correctly, those damp, wet conditions kind of persist shower after shower and aren't being mitigated. That moisture is just kind of sticking around. Eventually it goes out, but you're just building upon it and upon it and upon it. So you're going to get consistent mold growth and potentially an enormous amount of mold growth. Is the bathroom ventilated at all? If it is, try to put a humidistat on that so it will sense the humidity and stay on until all of that moisture is resolved, and then turn off and when the humidity is at the level you want. If there's not one, install one with a humidistat, because these are definitely meant to control the amount of moisture in the space. And once you've kind of managed the moisture, then I would re-caulk, and I would go for caulk paint products that have an antimicrobial component to them. Some of them have a product called Microban in their caulking. I think DAP makes one with it might be called Microbid, but it's got the Microban in it. But DAP definitely has made one over time. And that is going to do the trick. But you have to make sure that you're dealing with the moisture situation before you just start repetitively recalking or repainting or repairing, because it's just going to come back. And with the tub, you want to make sure that you get all of that existing caulk out, clean behind it with a bleach and water solution. You can spray it in there. You can wipe away and then let it dry. Let that space in between where you've removed the old caulk dry super thoroughly before you apply the new, because if you apply the new on a moist, moldy area, it's just going to grow right back. But I think that's your biggest problem there, is the moisture issue. And with proper ventilation in that bathroom, you should be able to get rid of the whole issue right from the beginning. Good luck with that. Sorry about it. I hate you having to do a project over and over again, Matt. So this will do the trick. Well, just because the temperatures are dropping, it doesn't mean you have to stop enjoying your outdoor spaces. Whether you love hosting fall dinner parties or you just want to have your morning coffee on your patio without shivering, a patio heater can extend your outdoor season well into those cooler months. So let's break down what you need to look for when you're shopping for one. So first, let's think about the fuel source. You really kind of only have three options here. propane, natural gas, or electric. A propane heater, they're super convenient. They're portable. I mean, they're great if you want to move them around the yard or if you want to stash them when they're not in use. A natural gas heater, however, are going to be stationary and they hook right into your home's gas line. So they're not going to run out of fuel mid-party, calling in for backup fuel. They are good to go, but they are in their permanent spot. And an electric heater, perfect for a covered patio or a porch or even just a small, balcony situation. There's no flames, there's no fumes, just plug and play. Now, when you've chosen the fuel source, let's think about how you're going to use it. Well, if you want it in one spot, you're looking for a dedicated stationary unit connected to a natural gas line. It's low maintenance. It's always ready to go. But if you're like, oh, I may want it here, I may want it there, then a propane portable model, it's going to be best. You can find them freestanding. You can find them in tabletop designs. And the tabletop heaters, they're pretty cute and they're kind of great for cozy, intimate gatherings. Now, don't forget about the heat output. The heaters are measured in BTUs. So the higher the number, the more heat you're going to get. A typical freestanding heater is about 45,000 BTUs, and that can warm an area about 20 feet in diameter, which is perfect for a smaller gathering or an outdoor dining setup. Tabletop models, though, are great for focused warmth in tighter spaces, and they really give you just enough warmth to kind of beat that chill, which is great. Now let's think about where you're putting it. If we're going in a total open air setup, a freestanding gas heater can really pump out the warmth. But if you're in a covered patio, a screened in porch, something like that, electric is the way to go because they're safer in closed spaces and they give you precise immediate heat without an open flame. But no matter what model you choose, you want to make sure you read and follow the manufacturer's instructions. You want to always use your heater in a well-ventilated space. And just like with any appliance, give it some room. Keep it away from your furniture, from overhangs, anything flammable. With the right patio heater, you can enjoy all of this wonderful crisp fall air without freezing and keep your outdoor space comfy well into sweater weather.
All right, Leslie, we have Lindsay. Try to say that a couple hundred times. Leslie Lindsay. Yeah.
Lots of L's.
She's out in Washington with a question about her siding. How can we help out, Lindsay?
I'm going about taking off our old growth yellow cedar shake on the siding of our house. And we're taking it off, cleaning it. It's in great shape and we want to reinstall it. But we're looking to replace the house wrap paper that was on it behind. It just seems like it was some sort of roofing paper, and we're wondering if there's a better product to install behind the cedar shakes when we put them back on.
Well, it seems like you just want to get rid of the siding, but I don't know if that's exactly necessary. So if your goal here is to just kind of simply clean those cedar shakes, that's much easier. Well, there's an easier way to do it than what you're doing now. It is going to be a big job, and I think it could be a job that you're going to regret because even though it may look good from where you're standing, you're going to end up cracking a bunch of them, and you're going to have all those extra holes in them when you put everything back together. So I don't think it's necessary for you to take everything off and try to clean it and then put things back. I mean, you could just clean them with a good cleaner like Jomax, Jomax. You kind of mix that with bleach and let it sit on for a while, and then you hose it off. Now, it does a really good job of cleaning those wood surfaces. It'll get rid of mold and mildew, the lichen, the algae, all of that. Now, the paper that you're mentioning is probably tar paper, and it's underneath the cedar, and that's pretty typical based on the age of your house. And I presume yours is old since the cedar shakes have already started to turn. And I don't really also feel like, again, it's necessary that you replace that. If you do end up taking off that cedar shake, I would recommend that you replace that underlayment with Tyvek paper. It's more modern. I mean, it's kind of the norm in building these days. It's vapor permeable. It breathes. So if you take the shakes off, I would change out the underlayment. You could use cedar breather. It's about a 1/4 inch thick. Then the Tyvek goes on top of that. And it just kind of allows the air to get behind everything. It dries much more easily. And because they can do that, you'll see that you're going to end up with a lot less surface growth going forward. It's a big project. I mean, painting is really the easiest way to change the look of the house, but that's still something that we don't always recommend because of cedar shake. I mean, you could look at something more of like a solid stain, but there's a lot going on there. And I mean, truly, it can make your head spin with all of the options that are available there. And if you do want to change the color, just try a little sample in a spot that's not very noticeable and see what you think. But it's a big project, and we wish you a lot of luck with that. All right? Thanks so much for calling us at 888-MONEY-PIT.
Eczema isn't always obvious, but it's real. And so is the relief from Ebglyss. After an initial dosing phase, about 4 in 10 people taking Ebglyss achieved itch relief and clear or almost clear skin at 16 weeks. And most of those people maintain skin that's still more clear at 1 year with monthly dosing.
Ebglyss, lebrikizumab LBKZ, a 250 milligram per 2 milliliter injection, is a prescription medicine used to treat adults and children 12 years of age and older who weigh at least 88 pounds or 40 kilograms with moderate to severe eczema, also called atopic dermatitis, that is not well controlled with prescription therapies used on the skin or topicals, or who cannot use topical therapies. Ebglyss can be used with or without topical corticosteroids. Don't use if you're allergic to Ebglyss. Allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Eye problems can occur. Tell your doctor if you have new or worsening eye problems. You should not receive a live vaccine when treated with Ebglyss. Before starting Ebglyss, tell your doctor if you have a parasitic infection.
Searching for real relief? Ask your doctor about Ebglyss and visit ebglyss.lilly.com or call 1-800-LILY-RX or 1-800-545-5979.
When did making plans get this complicated? It's time to streamline with WhatsApp, the secure messaging app that brings the whole group together. Use polls to settle dinner plans. Send event invites and pin messages so no one forgets Mom's 60th. And never miss a meme or milestone. All protected with end-to-end encryption. It's time for WhatsApp. Message privately with everyone. Learn more at whatsapp.com.
Well, you guys know that I love a good crafting project. Big time. But did you know that if you love a craft project, you don't have to go to the craft store to bring those fall vibes home? Just go outside. Take a nice stroll through the yard. Fallen branches, pine cones, acorns, and colorful leaves make the perfect ingredients for natural, budget-friendly fall decor. You can bundle the twigs with some twine to create a rustic centerpiece. You can fill clear vases with acorns and mini gourds, or you can tuck bright leaves under candles for an autumnal glow. Even an old watering can or a wood crate can become a seasonal display with just a few natural touches. And here I am giving away all my decor secrets. I love a wood crate. I love a watering can. Nothing to me says like, ooh, fall vibes than those things. Maybe like a little plaid throw blanket in there. And suddenly I'm like, look at this little fall setup on our cooking demo table here at Good Morning America. Woo, autumn.
Toss in some apple cider and an apple cinnamon donut, and you're good to go.
Oh, I am a sucker for an apple cinnamon donut. And it really helps create that cozy fall vibe. So smart decorating tips there, guys. And Jim's going to share his donut recipe online at moneypit.com. Right, Jim?
Right. Sure.
He's like, I'm going to put a link to my local farm stand where you can get a cinnamon donut.
Oh, I love them. They got a bunch of them out where I'm at, and October's the time, baby.
Please put some in the mail for me. Thank you kindly.
It's a coming.
All right, guys. Well, before you get crafting, give us a call. Jim, who do we have next?
George left us a message. Let's see what he's got to say.
Hello. I have a grapevine. The grapes, they start turning brown and they're falling down before they ripe. I don't know what to do with them.
All right, George. I mean, I've heard of this before. It's because of a fungal disease, and it's known as black rot, and it's kind of more prevalent in wetter weather. But basically, it usually sort of starts as a whitish spot on a grape, and then it sort of starts to form a brown kind of a halo look that's almost mummified, if that makes sense. And then it turns black on the grape, eventually falls off. It can be treated. You know, there are some fungicides out there that are designed to treat this. But in this case, I don't know if you're growing them because you're making the wine or you're eating those grapes and you want to make sure that you're choosing the proper fungicide for that. I'm pretty sure that what you're describing is a typical range of fungal disease that's known as black rot. But you could always try to send in a sample or take a photo through some sort of photo identifying site that uses AI to be like, oh, that's poison ivy. That is not poison ivy. You can tell that that's what I ask it a lot. Is this poison ivy? No. Leaves of 3, let it be. Got it. But this one has 3. Is that what? No? Okay, great. All right. Good luck with this project, George. Thanks so much for calling us at 888-MONEY-PIT. Well, it's fall, also known as spooky season. I mean, you might start hearing a few strange sounds around your house, but before you blame the ghosts, there's a good chance that those creaks... Am I sounding like Vincent Price? No? I'm trying. All right. No. I'm not as scary as I thought I sounded, but before you blame me for trying to sound scary, or before you blame the ghosts, there is a good chance that those creaks and bangs and mystery thumps have a totally non-paranormal explanation. So let's break down some of the most common "what's that sound" moments and what do they really mean. Now, you may hear banging or clanging in the walls, and if you do hear that random banging, especially after turning on the heat, it's probably just expanding of the pipes or the ductwork, because as hot water or air flows through that heating system, probably for the first time in months, metal pipes expand and shift slightly in their brackets, and that can make loud clicking or banging sounds. So to fix this, you want to insulate those noisy pipes, or maybe just add some foam padding around where they pass through the studs. And if your baseboard radiators clank like a haunted train, you have to bleed out the air system to quiet them down. Now, scratching or scurrying sounds, yeah, that's probably what you think it is. It probably is. As those outdoor temps drop, mice, squirrels, even raccoons kind of look for warm spots. Your attic, your walls.
Hey, look, kids, insulation.
Yeah, they're kind of their favorite places to go to. So if those noises happen kind of at night or early in the morning, there's a good chance you've got furry visitors. So check the attic vents, the soffits, the foundations for any gaps. You want to seal them up and call a pro for humane removal, especially if you're hearing a party up there, because it could be a mama raccoon and her babes, and you just get them out of the house nicely. Now, if you hear gurgling or bubbling in your plumbing, like if the sink or toilet makes those weird bubbling, gurgling sounds, you could have a blocked vent stack. And that's the pipe that equalizes the air pressure in your plumbing system. And those blocked vents can lead to slow drains, sewer smells, even possible backups. So call in a plumber to inspect the vent pipe on your roof. I mean, it could just be leaves or debris or a tennis ball or something. Probably an easy fix. Now, if you hear a creepy sort of whistling or whooshing sound in the hallway, it could just be the weather stripping. Gaps around doors or windows can cause airflow that creates a whistling or kind of like a humming sound, especially on those windy days that seem to be the spookiest. So replace worn out weather stripping or add a door sweep to kind of keep that draft and those noises out. And lastly, those kind of random pops and creaks. Wood expands and contracts with changes in temperature and humidity, and that can make your floors, your ceilings, even your furniture kind of pop and creak as the seasons shift. All of it is totally normal, no ghost required, but if it is excessive, a humidifier or a dehumidifier can help stabilize that indoor moisture. Now, why your chairs keep stacking themselves up and the cabinets keep swinging open, I can't help you there. You may actually have a ghost. I don't know. All right, Jim, who's up next? And please do not say that the call is coming from inside the house. Well, if it's been a while since you've checked in with your local recycling rules, now is the time. September is National Recycling Month, and it's a great reminder that recycling right matters. So you want to start by rinsing containers. Yes, even the peanut butter jars, too. I know that one's a pain in the butt, but you got to do it. You want to skip the plastic bags and never wish cycle. That's kind of when you're like, oh, it's plasticky. I think it's recyclable. I'll just put it in the bin. Chances are it's not. So don't put things in there that you don't know if they're recyclable or not. Double check. And don't forget to recycle household items beyond the kitchen, like bathroom bottles and cardboard packaging. Every small habit makes a big impact. So let's recycle smarter this season and start making some good new habits. Jim, who do we have standing by?
Heading out to Maryland, Leslie, we've got Dan on the line. He wants to clean some kitchen cabinets. Tell us what's happening, Dan.
Yeah, I got like 5-year-old kitchen cabinets. They're like an off-white color, and they're starting to get greasy over the top of the stove and the microwave. anything you recommend to cut the grease and make them look like new?
Yeah, I mean, that happens. And especially in that spot above the stove, you just end up with like this yucky grease just from the nature of cooking and evaporation and whatnot and things getting into the air. So a couple of good ways to start is, simply Murphy's oil soap. You just get a couple of cleaning rags, a sponge, some towels to dry the cabinets as you go. What is that? What do they call those? Those little towels that you use for the cars and stuff.
Chamois.
Chamois. Get a bunch of those. Jimmy likes them. I like them. They're good at drying and cleaning. But what you want to do...
You know what else is good? Those microfiber cloths.
That's the word I was thinking of. Microfiber cloths. They're great for like the last step of everything. I feel like you can use...
Isn't that 2 words?
All right, fine. I generally, my hands are so dry that I always stick to the microfiber cloth, so it kind of is annoying. But they dry like the dickens, and they're fantastic for this type of project without sort of marring the surface. So what you want to do is you want to use the Murphy's oil soap. It's gentle. It's not going to streak. It's easy to work with. And then, empty those cabinets. It's a good time to toss anything that you don't need or want and reorganize, or things that are expired. Don't worry. My son just pointed out something in the cabinet that was from 2020. I just said, toss it. Don't remind me. No judgment here. It's time to kind of clean everything up. And then mix up the cleaner, and you want to mix up the soap with warm water. I mean, kind of as hot as you can tolerate, and follow the instructions on sort of that soap to water ratio. But it's generally about half a cup of Murphy's oil soap per gallon of water. And in the second bucket, you just want some plain water there. And it doesn't need to be warm because you're going to rinse with it. And kind of just start from the top down, because obviously, gravity in mind, it's going to start to come down. And you work from the top and wipe the cabinets down, dipping the rag in the soapy solution, wiping them gently. And then you can follow that up with the clean rag with just clean water. And you kind of have to do this as much as necessary. You may have to sort of dump out the Murphy's oil soap after a while just because it gets pretty yucky. Same with the water. And you keep doing that, and that'll do a great job of cutting the grease and taking the grease off of those cabinets. You don't have to let it soak or so. You just kind of put it on there for a minute and start working your way through the grease. For the cleaning part, I like the terry cloth because it has a little bit more texture to it. You can also use a sponge. You can even use a Scotch pad, one that has a little bit of texture but won't scratch, that you would use for like nonstick cookware, like with that gentle abrasion. This way, if you've got a tough spot, you can kind of really get at it and it won't hurt the paint. But it's going to take a minute here. You're going to be cleaning for a bit. But at the end, first of all, your kitchen's going to smell great like a pine forest. But also, everything's going to be nice and tidy. Your cabinets will be organized. And you won't have to worry about touching up paint because it's just not going to hurt it.
All right.
All right. Good luck with this project. Get ready for a day cleaning. Thanks so much for calling us at 888-MONEY-PIT.
Thank you very much.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. Checking off the boxes on your to-do list is a great feeling. And when it comes to checking off coverage, a State Farm agent can help you choose an option that's right for you. Whether you prefer talking in person, on the phone, or using the award-winning app, it's nice knowing you have help finding coverage that best fits your needs. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
This episode is brought to you by FXX and Hulu. An all-new season of Futurama is back, blending heartfelt moments with razor-sharp humor while accidentally saving the day. The Planet Express crew is back, defying gravity and common sense. From the creator of The Simpsons comes 10 new episodes where the romance is hotter, the threats are bigger, and the action hits harder. Don't miss the all-new season of Futurama. Watch it Mondays on FXX or stream it on Hulu.
Well, did you know that your water heater is responsible for nearly 1/5 of your home's total energy use? Now, that's a big chunk of your utility bill, especially if it's working harder than it needs to be. But don't worry, a few simple changes can lighten the load and save you some serious cash. So let's start with the basics, shorter showers. Not only will you save water, but you're also going to reduce the energy used to heat it. And if you haven't already, swap out out that shower head for a WaterSense labeled model. It's a quick upgrade that can make a noticeable difference in both water and energy use. Now, when it comes to the laundry, you can dial down the heat. It doesn't matter if you wash those clothes in warm water or cold water, but that cold water can cut your energy use by up to 50% per load. And your clothes, I promise, will still come out clean. Now let's talk about leaks. A leaky pipe or fixture, it might seem small, but it can actually waste over 1,600 gallons of water a year. And that's not just water down the drain, it's your money too. So fixing even minor leaks can help your system run more efficiently and avoid damage down the road. And if your water heater is 15 years old or older, like mine was, sorry. It's still those fall allergies. I got that. But again, if your water heater is 15 years old or older, it's time to consider a replacement. New energy efficient models can help you save big, and many utility companies offer rebates to help you with that cost. And even better, there are federal tax credits available out there that could save you up to $600 on your upgrade, whether you choose a traditional tank or a tankless model. So give your water heater a little TLC, and your wallet will thank you too. Well, we are off to a very busy fall season in our part of the country, and I'm sure you guys are too. And maybe email's your best way to reach out to the Money Pit, and we love getting them from you. So Jim's going to reach into just sort of scroll through our inbox and pick somebody to answer. What do you got, Jim?
And out of a rabbit's hat, I pulled Brad. And Brad's working on a project, and he says, I'm building a new patio roof, and that's 24 foot wide by 20 foot deep. Is there any way to overlap the rear roof of my house without connecting the patio roof? We get this question more often than you think, Leslie.
I know, we do.
The patio roof will be supported by 9 6x6 posts, prefab bases on 2 concrete pylons. And he wants to know how to overlap that the proper way, so he wrote to us.
All right, well, I think what Brad's trying to do is kind of like, I kind of would liken it to like putting an umbrella up over the roof. You want to overlap them, which I'm not really sure why you would do that. If the patio roof is high enough, you would want to tie that into the roof of the house, and it would actually be a lot stronger too, and it would stop, all of the extra movement. You'd kind of get more structural strength that would remove that kind of racking movement, that like side to side. So definitely stronger if you tie it in with the roof. And if it's not, then maybe you could tie it under the roof to the exterior structure of the house, to that wall. So one way or the other, you're connecting them, but I wouldn't build something this large as a standalone. I would definitely figure out a way to connect it to the house for sure. It sounds like you're doing it right in the building of it, but you would want to connect those surfaces together to give you the proper support. I don't think the overlap's the way to go. Definitely go connected. More benefits there. All right, Brad, good luck with that.
Now we've got Andrew who writes in saying, we recently had a water heater installed. Ever since then, when you turn off the water, it sounds like thunder from copper pipes vibrating in the basement. What causes this, and how can I correct it? Yeah, it seems that loud pipes is the topic of the day, Leslie.
All right. Well, that I suspect is copper pipes in your basement. Maybe they're loose, and because of the installation of this new water heater, what happens when those pipes are loose and you use water anywhere in the house, that water has such heft to it in its movement that when you turn the faucet off, or it kind of happens automatically, like if a dishwasher or washing machine stops, it kind of, the water just itself sort of screeches to a halt.
Yeah, it's the inertia of the water. It wants to keep traveling.
Exactly. But the problem of having such weight is that it sort of takes that pipe with it and it shakes the pipe. And that's where you get that sort of water hammer effect that kind of sounds like old-timey thunder in a movie. You know, when they have the metal sheet and it's like, wah, wah, wah. That's a terrible impression. But you know what I mean? So the solution is pretty simple. You just have to secure those pipes to the walls and the beams around them. And I suspect this only happened since the new unit was put in, was because the plumber just didn't attach the pipes right, or not at all. So simple fix. It's a few brackets. You're going to have to look for the loose pipes and tighten them up. Now, if that rumble that you're hearing is not consistent with that running water, but it sounds like it is, but if it's not the case, we can tell you that if mineral salts build up at the bottom of a tank, you could get that same sound as well. But again, it's a new water heater, so you're not going to end up with those mineral deposits so quickly. I definitely would take a look at all of that, which is going on with the pipes, where the new installation was, make sure that those pipe clamps are there, tighten everything. All of it's super fixable. So fear not. You might not find yourself, needing a white noise machine to tackle this new thunder rainstorms you've got in your home. All right. Thanks so much for calling us at 888-MONEY-PIT. Or I should say, thanks for emailing. Well, that wraps up this hour of the Money Pit. Thank you so much for joining us. We definitely covered a lot of super helpful home tips, and we will continue to be here for you through the craziest busy time of the year. Remember, you can always reach out to us at 888-MONEY-PIT. And remember, guys, you can do it yourself, but you don't have to do it alone.
On the Money Pit Radio Show. On the Money Pit Radio Show.
Pick up the telephone.
Fix up your home sweet home by calling 888-MONEY-PIT.
And Doug. Here we have the Limu Emu in its natural habitat, helping people customize their car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. Fascinating. It's accompanied by his natural ally, Doug.
Limu, is that guy with the binoculars watching us?
Cut the camera. They see us.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
Your sausage McMuffin with egg didn't change. Your receipt did. The sausage McMuffin with egg extra value meal includes a hash brown and a small coffee for just $5. Only at McDonald's for a limited time.
Prices and participation may vary.